Welcome back. If you live in Tokyo, you know that Tokyo is abuzz at the diplomatic level. Diplomats from China, South Korea, and of course the Japanese are meeting for a trilateral meeting. This is a big deal, Dr. Brown.
Absolutely. This meeting between the foreign ministers of the three countries, it's the first time that the Chinese foreign minister has come to Japan since 2012, since relations between the two countries became particularly fraught. And they have an awful lot to talk about. In particular, the situation with North Korea, but also trying to ensure that tensions over the Senkaku Islands in the East China Sea don't really become too inflamed.
Right. It seems like it's been building up to a crescendo, and things are really quiet over these last 2 weeks in anticipation of this trilateral meeting.
Yeah, although some people thought that there was a danger that this might actually be cancelled. And the reason for that is because of the increase in Chinese activities
It was that hot.
around the Senkaku Islands. But in actual fact, it's gone ahead, and that's a very, very positive sign. Even better is the fact that they agreed to move ahead with plans to have a summit between the three countries' leaders. That's expected to happen in Japan. All of the observers thought that maybe this would occur at best next year in 2017. In actual fact, they're now talking about the possibility to have it before the end of 2016.
That's incredible because look at all the activity that's going on. We were talking about the visit with Putin, either formally or informally, with the trilateral meeting that's going on right now. They're meeting again today, I believe today's Thursday, concluding tomorrow. A lot is happening on the diplomatic front.
Absolutely. It's going to be a busy few months up to the end of the year, combining this likely Putin visit with the leaders of South Korea and China coming as well. It's really an important time for Abe. If he gets some significant foreign policy successes, this could really help him electorally.
Yeah, well, I think you can understand now why he kept his foreign minister when he finished his cabinet shuffle.
That's right. There was a lot of speculation about Mr. Kishida being replaced, but by having this continuity, it helps him to continue to push forward with these various initiatives, with trying to push towards a deal with the Russian side, and also in trying to improve relations with China and South Korea.
I've got to imagine that the biggest issue that they're talking about right now is North Korea and the missile. They just launched another missile this week. It must cause an awful lot of concern.
Absolutely. I think that was the main focus of this week's meeting, that North Korea didn't just launch a missile, it was a missile launched from a submarine and also one that traveled a full 500 kilometers. Now, what this shows is that North Korea are improving all of the time their missile capabilities. And clearly, this is a major concern, particularly for South Korea and Japan. So what those two countries will have been doing is trying to persuade China, that's really the only country that has significant leverage over North Korea, to try and pressure them to tone back, to scale down their activities, and to stop pushing forward with their nuclear program and their missile program.
Right. There's been suggestions recently that China doesn't exert as much leverage over the Hermit Kingdom as people would like to believe.
Well, they certainly don't exert as much leverage as many countries would like, but in the trilateral meeting, they did suggest that they were against North Korea's missile program, against their nuclear program, and they also agreed to urge North Korea to reduce tensions. So that's actually a good sign. It shows that whilst China is not going to apply full pressure to North Korea, they are going to at least try and nudge it in the right direction.
Well, what you're thinking about this, I mean, clearly the North Koreans are not doing this as a concession. They're doing this for a long-term view. They want to establish themselves as a nuclear power and somebody that can defend themselves and scare their neighbors.
That's exactly right. That's why they've been pursuing this nuclear program for so many years now. The next stage is to be able to have a ballistic missile which can be launched from a submarine and can be a genuine kind of danger, or in their view, a deterrent against their enemies. And they're moving forward with this. And the reason why they're doing it is because in their view, they feel surrounded, they feel threatened by the United States, by South Korea, and they're going to continue to move in this direction.
Gosh, I wonder why. But the other reason why they're doing this is for the economic value of exporting arms. I mean, they've really gone gung-ho on that.
Well, they'll pretty much do anything which will bring in foreign currency, and they also try and use saber-rattling threats to induce economic incentives from the West and from other countries. This is a tactic which they've used for years. And unfortunately, it looks like it's not going to change anytime soon.
Where did they get the submarines? Are those home built?
I don't know.
That's an amazing thing. I mean, they have to be state of the art because the whole Sea of Japan is littered with listening devices. So these things have to be pretty sophisticated. Where do they get the technology? How do they build these?
That's not my area of expertise. I don't think, however, that these are the most up-to-date bits of equipment. They simply don't have the money for those. I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're actually really quite old Soviet subs.
Okay.
But again, I don't know the specifics.
But actually having launch capabilities, I mean, that is really state of the art, isn't it?
It is, and they've been improving really significantly. And so the real worry is that they will become better and better. Also, the capabilities to miniaturize nuclear technology, and then they would actually be able to have a genuine ballistic missile kind of threat to the United States.
Okay, so the three countries are meeting here. Their foreign ministers, I mean, the top guys are meeting here in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Probably the outcome of that, the best outcome of that is a meeting of the heads of state, probably before the end of the year.
That's correct.
Some action on North Korea. What else can we anticipate might come out of this trilateral meeting?
Well, the real hope will be to reduce tensions between Japan and China.
Right.
That over the last few months,
Sure.
there have been concerns about Chinese ships going into the contiguous waters beside the Senkaku Islands. And the hope will be that meeting in that trilateral format, as well as discussing other things, they'll be able to reduce tensions over the Senkaku issue.
A lot to hope for. Please stay tuned. We're going to continue to watch this and report on it to you.